Oh, here we go. The Mario and I just got bad guys. Let's receive this medicines. Yep, Dr. Mario. So now I can actually talk. Again. So people are gonna probably be like, oh god, why are you talking about this? But I'm gonna talk about one thing in particular. It's time that we started going into personal opinions about the whole Channel Awesome debate. Now, my personal belief is that Doug is too naive. Even with his... From what I read with the whole, like, about the whole script business, what I read about the whole, that whole argument, to me, he seems too naive into almost off about the whole thing. Which is why I go and question, you know, more about maybe Doug's not the one people should be going after. There are people who in this fight who should. The CEO, for example, is one such person who they should be like, yeah, no, you're done. Rob is the middleman, in my personal opinion, and I think I said this over on Twitter too. Personally, I believe that he is the middleman. That it's not Doug, it's more so Rob, because when you look at it, Rob is the one who's basically always in there with Mike. He's the one who's always, like, with Mike's suggestions. Then you look at Doug. And Doug, from what I'm gathering, is trying to control... a lot of things. Yes, this is going to date the video. Yes, this is going to... But you have to talk about subjects like this when they come up. AKA, you have to talk about, you know... Now, I'm not saying Doug is completely innocent. Far from it. You know, you can only be so naive enough to it actually starts becoming problems. For example, the entire argument with the script. He should have been clear enough to say, hey guys, I'm thinking about this, what is your opinion on it? He just went and said, you're doing this. Yes, because of that, I went and rewatched To Boldly Flee. You can find it all over YouTube. It's outright given at this point. I don't want to say that I blame Doug on everything, because again, Mike is there for a reason. Mike has done some terrible things, but like the Dr. Gonzo, that one, you know, if it was an actual job, Mike would have been, you know, brought in front of the Walker brothers and been fried on the spot. If this was an actual, you know, job, if this was an actual, like, way they did jobs. Now, when you think about it, I almost feel sad for... But, yeah, I'm for... Who am I for? Like, everyone right now is against Channel Awesome. Like, that is a given. Channel Awesome is nearing the end of its glory days and is entering the second stage of being a company, which is they've now hit the bad media press and they're in cover-up mode. Oh, how dare! It's like the president. I can't believe I used that, but I have to. It's like the president. What's happening with the president right now? He's in cover-up mode. What I like to call cover-up mode is, oh dear, yeah, I'm screwed. No, I'm done. So one of the problems that I have with Channel Awesome, I used to watch Channel Awesome only for a couple people. Linkara and the Big Hitters. And I used to watch, and I always waited with anticipated breath for the anniversary movies, because I always believed, you know, I was a stupid kid back then. I believe that these were amazing. They cover, like, everybody says that when it came to Suburban Nights, that's when everything started to go downhill for everyone fast. Like, it was, the boat had sprung a leak before then, but that was the point when everyone realized the boat's sinking, get off the ship. Do I hate... Again, I personally don't believe Doug is fully incompetent. I mean, he is incompetent. But, like, I'm not the one who's going to immediately jump for, you know, we should get Doug on a silver platter. No. I firmly believe that we need to start saving up, you know, our hatred for, we need to have localized hatred for the dude who kept getting, the dude who basically got mentioned the most, and the one who has the most proof against him. That, my dear friends, is the CEO of the company, Mike. Mike is very, like, Mike should have been fired. When this whole thing started, Mike should have lost his job. The Walker brothers should have had him out on a silver platter and said, here, you know, Mike, you know, he's gone. Go deal with Mike over here. You know, you have to face it. If they start cutting back on people, cutting back on people, and I mean of like, if they start firing people because of this, that, my dear friends, is how we will know that Channel Awesome is dead and they have become the Doug Show. Which is what everyone was saying was Channel Awesome to begin with. Was they turned it into the Doug Show. And people didn't like it just being the Doug Show. So, again, as I keep saying, I am not against Doug. I'm fully against Mike and Rob, because Mike should have seen this crap forming and been like, yeah, Mike, you're gone. Because to me, it sounds like Doug wants to be on camera. He will beg other producers to go, you know, help him set up his camera because he wants to be, you know, he wants to be there. He wants to be out in front and says, look, he probably doesn't know what goes on behind the scenes. Rob does. Doug, which is again another reason why I'm saying, like, you can't go against Doug 100%, but Rob is, because while Doug is trying all these sorts of problems, you got Rob over here basically siding with Mike on doing everything. I don't like Rob. Rob came up with the decision to retire the Nostalgia Critic. They found out how bad idea that was, and then they made the episode of The Review Must Go On. That is now, I like, what's one that they've done recently? Hocus Pocus counts. I like Hocus Pocus. The Hocus Pocus review. Hocus Pocus review makes a lot of sense. What they did is, instead of doing the movie, they did one of their mini videos. I love Doug has started becoming more and more film oriented than he has review oriented. That is one of the reasons why, you know, you can start seeing the shift. As soon as they started doing all of this crap, I'm not against the firing of, personally what I think they should do with the whole Channel Awesome thing is start clearing house. Like, I mean, you start finding out the problems and you just start chopping block. You start looking at the problems and you start cutting. Like, you go, done, gone. You just start chopping blocks. And I mean, you go hard at the chopping block. No more, let's just sit here and let's hope the problem doesn't resolve itself. I'm talking, you go in, you start ripping out, you know, problems in your company. I'm trying to think of, like, a way to say this. Mike, automatically gone. They get a PR person. He goes up in charge and basically says, let's get this ready, let's get this done, let's get this set up, let's just start going. Let's just start going like crazy. Another thing, redesign the website so stuff like what Mike does not happen again. They've said that what Mike does is Mike has full control of the website, where he can basically block people and do things at his own whim. That gone. That whole gets revamped, redone, cut all that crap off the you know, website. Now they have to start doing it properly, go through proper channels. Random firings are gone. Because you can't just outright go and say, you know, because you didn't contact us or you left us hanging for 15 minutes, we decided to let you go. Nuh-uh. That's gone too. Because if you want to pull that system, you will start getting your butts start being thrown into freaking court. Because once you sign contract, because this is all you have to do when you get contract signings, which is pretty much why they probably don't do contracts, so they don't have to worry about this. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. You don't do this. So what do you do to make it easier on people? You just start chopping things out. It's like, you're done, you're done, you're done. Get rid... Okay, what's another thing we could cut? Oh, here's another good one. Cut out the Skype chat conferences. That's the thing that when I read, that was like, you have no idea how to run a business. Like, I'm in college and I'm learning, and I got taught from a semester by a business person public speaking techniques, and I could run a business better than some of these people who are trying to pull this crap. Start renting out space in that set that they have. You ain't using all of it. Like, they only use it for Nostalgia Critic. Nah. You want a new profile, you start setting up things, you start pulling things out. You start looking at individual projects, and you just start going, we're going to have you do for Tuesday, Wednesday, you Thursday, you Friday. Let's get these things going. Let's start getting money. Because if you can start doing that, you've got more money on your hands. But they said, no, we're just going to use it for Doug. The second they do that, they just cut out like 99% of all their people. making it the Doug Show. I almost want to say, like, this is where Doug should realize what's happening, but come on, man. You're not that crazy enough. You're not that naive enough to go and say, like, where's all the people? Like, you're not that... Surely. Rob... You know, I'm gonna have to go back to the Rob thing, because Rob, I don't think is... And I can't believe I'm gonna contradict myself again, but... Rob... Oh god, I'm trying not to contradict myself. Because... My problems with Channel Awesome... Oh, with the way that they handled... Oh, who's that one? I don't know if I should start with the Dr. Gonzo thing. I don't know if I should say anything on the Dr. Gonzo thing. Because the Dr. Gonzo thing is, like, abuse. Like, that's textbook abuse. And, like, they need to realize that you could literally go to jail for that. Like, people don't realize it, but yeah, if that ever got pulled to court, they could go to jail. That's textbook freaking abuse tactics. That, like, you don't do that. There have been people who go to jail who have done that. You don't do that. Another problem that I have with Channel Awesome recently with all this coming out is Channel Awesome, the more and more you start realizing it, don't really have a system that's built for anything besides Doug. Again, making it the Doug Walker Show, but let me give you this specific example. They decided we're gonna do things, but we're only gonna do it for the big people. You know, we're gonna do banners that show, like, who's gonna be up next, you know, who's gonna be releasing on that specific day. That stopped, and then they became the Doug Show again, because they realized, oh wait, Doug's making us all of the money. Let's not cut away from the dude who's making us all of the money. Another thing, another one that they should, like, people rely on Channel Awesome still. That's the sad thing. They're, like, I think Angry Joe is still on the website. I think Cinema Snob, Brad, I don't know if Brad Jones is the Cinema Snob. I'm about to mention the Spoony one in a good light. But I think the problems all started with the firing of the Spoony one. Because with that was the first person who they fired. I think it was Spoony, and then it was Lupa. I think. Because Spoony had done some things, but they had decided, you know, we're going to part ways. That was their first firing. That was their first, we're going to do this. They probably realized, like, oh my god, look at all this money we got now. They probably went and said, okay, now with future firings, we're just going to do whatever we want. Because as soon as Spoony was fired, like, you could see a dramatic decline in, like, people. Because in that time you had, who were the big hitters? Spoony, Linkara, Nostalgia Critic, you had everybody working together and everyone being funny and stuff like that. Kick-ass, y'all. I don't even want to mention the problems I read in the letter. I still liked Kickassia, but the stuff behind the scenes, it's pretty much the Ultimate Foe things. Anyone who doesn't know about the Ultimate Foe from Doctor Who, like the behind the scenes stuff that's happened, I've seen it. I've read the book because Freezing and Fresno showed me. Oh my god. Imagine that. No. I'm ranting about Channel Awesome, and I don't care because I'm like 25 minutes in and I like playing Tetris, and this is pretty much playing Dr. Mario. Another thing that they should look into, and this is gonna be like, finally, before I start giving myself migraines, they need to finally start looking into personally, I think that what happened. Oh, here we go again. We're losing again. Finally, before I end the video, I'm gonna talk about the Channel Awesome thing. I'm gonna talk about the one thing, what I call the Channel Awesome thing. The one thing that I think Channel Awesome did worse, the thing that, and what it is called is what people will now confirm to for the rest of the time as the Haley incident. The Haley incident. No, I take that back. Not the Haley incident. I'm not going to talk about that because I'm going to take that back. The one thing is the it was some dude who got in trouble. The Seinfeld joke. I'm trying to remember his name, but that dude, that dude. Channel Awesome has been in some tight, things that she's they're Mike knew about this guy. In the email, he knew about the guy. And that is the scary part. He knew what this guy acted like. He knew what this guy was doing. He knew everything and did nothing until this dude started talking inappropriately to one of the people on the website. It does not take you that long to realize a problem about anything that is sexual harassment. That is an automatic no. You don't do that. Oh, I'm done. I'm gonna change to Tetris. Oh. Like, that is a thing that you don't do. You knew about what this guy does. These were one of the original people working for your site. And Mike knew how this guy acted. And he did nothing. He did not warn to ask the Walker brothers, would you like this guy working on your site? He didn't, say, hey, people, this is how he acts. I want your opinion. Should he be with us? He was just, he's going to be working on the site from now on. No, you don't do that. You don't just out of the blue say, oh yeah, by the way, this guy acts. Oh, you don't just out of the blue say, oh, we're gonna let him work on the site because he's a good programmer. No, like that at that point that pissed me off about Channel Awesome. That was the thing that I was like, no more. They need to clean up their act. Because Mike let a dude that he knew acted in a manner that you do not act in a form of business, I don't want you. There's like a couple other things that just kept getting at me more and more and more that I don't want to go over, because if I did, I'd be here all day. I mean, I guess I can. This video is already gone for 25 minutes. I could talk about a couple. I don't know if I want to, because there are some that I don't know I should talk about. You know what? Screw it. On the website, when they released the Not So Awesome document, when they released the document, they mentioned a particular incident on that document of a female fan. Automatically, people probably going, oh no, not this. This has to be talked about when you mention this, because there is a point where you go, no more. This is the no more point. With the current statings of Channel Awesome. And they don't mention when, but they do mention what. There was a grooming, sexual grooming by a producer on the website. Saying those words does not make me feel, and I don't. It ticks me off in multiple ways. That was the one point when I decided, when I said, I will continue to watch Doug. I will not support the website. I will watch them on YouTube. I will never, until, it is fixed or something is done, I will never go back to the website. Because there are points when I say no more. There are points when I look to what happens and I say no more. When people come to my channel, I'm probably going to put this up. This is probably going to be my intro. So, for a little bit, until I can actually make an intro, probably make one today or tomorrow. I do not like I will never, until it is fixed, I will never go back to the website again. I only went to the thing because I was like, this is how, you found Linkara. This is where I started, I had to go, I barely used it, but I used it so I could go look to, for Linkara videos, because back then, before he went fully to YouTube, I did not know about his website. But now it is decided no. So, while this is playing, I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to me rant for the last 39 minutes, your time. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and to the people out there who are still learning about, where you will find out more about Channel Awesome in the coming weeks, days, and weeks, and months. But I just wanted my own voice to be heard. I just wanted my own opinion. I wanted my own opinion out here on this situation, and I wanted to say this. There has to be a change. Doug can't keep playing the naive card any longer. or the boat will sink, and Channel Awesome, the thing that was built for him and his friends, will become almost nothing more than the Doug Show. And everything he worked on with who he wanted to, be, who he wanted to hang out with and do things with. If he can no longer do what he needs to do, and if he can't help his friends, then Doug at least do the one thing and help and stop Rob. Stop at least Mike. Tell your brother what he's doing, behind your backs. Tell him like everything, because surely you've read the document by this point. Like, this is a call of action to Doug. Do what is right for you and your friends and your fans. Tell Mike no more. Thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful. And I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.